Welcome to a very special edition of Dave TV, the second one for the 25th of June, 2014. And since you've seen me, I've taken a shower and changed my clothes. I did the earlier Dave TV. It's always like that, you know. It's like I finished doing the Dave TV and then a big issue comes down the pike. One day I was doing Dave TV, I finished it up, closed the thing, and we had an earthquake. And if I just waited 5 minutes, the earthquake would have been right during my Dave TV. Here we go. Earthquake! Well, there was an earthquake today of a political nature, I guess, in Washington. A company called Aereo. Aereo is this company that what they do is they act as an antenna service, okay? So you pay them between $8 and $12 a month, and they have it in some markets. We don't have it here in Washington yet. They do have it in Baltimore. You pay this company, you know, an $8 to $12 fee, and then you can get all your local broadcast signals on your computer as a stream, okay? So you can watch. So for example, you don't need basic cable. You don't need your own antenna. You know, it's hard today to get digital television using an antenna. You know, if you've tried it, you know, it's just digital television is not as robust as analog. You know, in the old days where you just bought a TV set, put rabbit ears on the top, and you could get most of your signals. Some would come in kind of snowy, but you could see everything. Today with digital, it just doesn't work that way. You put it, you can have your digital TV, and then you hook an antenna into it, and you do a scan, and some of your channels will come in, and some won't. You know, I just did a scan on my bedroom TV using an antenna, and I couldn't get channel 5 or 9, but I could get all the others. You know, then if I move the antenna to another part of the room, okay, 5 comes in and 9 comes in, but now I can't get 4. You know, that's the way digital TV works. It's infuriating. So, you know, most people don't watch digital television with an antenna because it's too much of a pain in the ass. So you have to get cable, you know, did broadcast, whatever. So, or you have to have a really good antenna, like something up on your roof or something. So most people just get cable. But again, people are tired now paying for cable. You know, it's expensive. And one of the reasons why cable is getting more and more expensive is because broadcasters are charging retransmission fees. Okay? So, for example, for Comcast to carry Channel 7, WJLA, they have to make a deal with the company that owns WJLA Albritton, and they probably pay a fee for that. You know, there's a deal going down the pike. You know, and Albritton says, hey, you know, we're supplying ABC programming, which is very valuable to a lot of viewers, and we can, you know, charge a fee for our signal. So they call it a retransmission fee. And you see all these companies doing that. So cable companies are paying retransmission fees to broadcasters for carrying the broadcaster signal, and then they pass that on to you, the wondrous cable subscribers. So that's why, if you notice on your cable bill now in a lot of places, there's like a broadcast TV fee of a couple of bucks. That's how they're passing that wonderful thing on to you. Well, you could put up an antenna and watch it directly yourself, but, you know, half the time that ain't going to work. So here comes Aereo. And Aereo is saying all we're going to do is be an antenna for people. That's all we're going to do. Okay, so now here's a way you can watch on any internet-connected device, be it your tablet or your smartphone or your computer at home. You can watch all your local broadcast channels via Aereo for a price. Okay, so you pay, again, $8 to $12 a month. And they technically say, what we're doing is we're leasing you your own little antenna. That's all we're doing. But at the same time, Aereo is also providing DVR services where you can actually save and record programming. So if you miss Modern Family, you know, 9 o'clock on Wednesday night, you can record it, so to speak, and then watch it later, you know. So what Aereo's doing, 2 things I think that they're doing that get them into trouble. One is they're charging for their services, and the other thing is they're manipulating the signal beyond simply just transmitting it to you. Okay? That gets them into some copyright trouble by doing that. For example, I could put an antenna on my roof and link it to my neighbor's houses, my neighbor's apartments or whatever, and say, okay, I'm giving you free antenna service. Fine, there's probably no problem with that. But if I start charging those people for antennas, say, if you want to get on my antenna, I'm going to charge you $8 a month. Now we're stepping into another realm. Okay, that's what Aereo's doing, stepping into another realm. So the deal is this. I love what Aereo's doing, and I really wish they had won their lawsuit, or their thing at the Supreme Court today. But I kind of knew they wouldn't, because they're bending those copyright laws to the point where they're about to break. Or they haven't broken, they have broken. So, it's like the same thing. If I have a DVD, if I buy a DVD of a movie, okay, and I want to watch it, I can watch it. I have the right to do that. I paid for that right. If I want to invite my friends in and watch the movie, I have a legal right to do that. But if I now want to start charging admission, instead of my friends just coming over to watch the movie, I want to now charge them $5 a pop for doing that. Aha! I've now gone over the fair use with my copyright rule. Now I'm making money on the deal. You see what I'm saying? It's like using your cassettes. Remember the cassettes? Remember the cassettes where people would make mixtapes? Well, if you want to make a mixtape for friends, or make even a copy of a record album for a friend and give it to them as a gift, or just, that's fine. You probably aren't going to get in any trouble for that. But if you're going to start making copies of that record album and then sell them to people and make money on that, then you've crossed the line. And I think Aereo did stick its little toe over the line. Okay? And I can understand what the Supreme Court did. I don't like what the Supreme Court did, and I really do wish something like Aereo could take off, because we do need more options. In this world of cable TV and we have so many channels, but yet the problem is there's too few companies that are the providers, the gatekeepers. There's only a couple of cable companies now: Comcast, Time Warner, Cox, Verizon. That's it. There's only 3 or 4, 5, 6 major companies that almost everybody has to subscribe to get television service. That's bad. We only have a couple of companies that are controlling television stations and networks, even though there's all these channels. Fewer and fewer giant media companies controlling everything. And this is another step to that end game, where someday there'll be 2 or 3 giant companies on collusion, and basically they'll say, you can go with company A or company B, but they're going to charge the same inflated rate. Take your choice. That's the kind of day. That's what we've come to. We've come to a world now where free broadcast television is the thing of the past. It's deader. It's still technically out there, but it's deader than it used to be. Okay? One day closer to that day when we won't have free broadcast television anymore. And so there, but that problem was, if the Aereo had won its suit today at the Supreme Court, what broadcasters would have probably done, or what companies that own the networks would have done, is taken more of their shows off broadcast television. So, for example, if you want to watch Modern Family now, they would take it and put it on ABC would put it on one of its cable networks or something like that. So you would there's no way you can use Aereo with a satellite cable delivered thing rather than a broadcast signal. So you would get more and more programming. It's already gravitating that way. It's already that way for me. I very, very rarely watch broadcast television anymore. I don't watch the news very much. I do occasionally watch some sports events. That's about it. Most of all the programming I like The Americans, like Fargo, like Mad Men, they're all on cable networks that aren't available over the air, that I have to pay for. And, television is going to be more and more like that. And that's just the way we're going. And, Aereo got caught up in it. They had a cool idea that just didn't quite pass the muster there with, the current copyright laws. And it's sad, but that's what's happened. Goodbye, Aereo. Or at least it will have to transform itself into something that I don't know how it could survive. Just become an antenna service and don't charge. How you gonna do that? So anyhow, that's that. Woohoo! That's my analysis of the big Aereo controversy. I think the Supreme Court was correct in its decision, but it's just, it's what's going to happen. It's just, more corporate control, big giant corporations controlling, a few big giant corporations controlling the broadcast business, and that can't be a good thing in the long run. All right, thanks for watching this special edition of Dave TV for the 25th of 2014. Adios, amigos.